Hello, everyone. I am Corinne Crabtree. I am the founder and CEO of the No BS Business Women's Membership, and I'm the founder and CEO of the No BS Weight Loss Membership. Today, what we're going to talk about is organic social dead. So, this is for all the people who follow me and want some help on building their business. I started my business from scratch 15 years ago. And when I say from scratch, I mean from a busted laptop, no college education or anything. And I've grown it over the years into an 8-figure business, which I'm also very excited to announce that I started the No BS Business Women's Membership back in July of 2022. And as of this month, we have crossed 7 figures in that business. So it's just a huge deal for me and my team. We've worked really hard and we have been trying our best to make sure that every member of our No BS Business Women's Membership feels like they're exquisitely taken care of and also educated on the real shit when it comes to growing your business. So today we're going to talk about social. So what I would love to invite all of you to do, since we're going to talk about is organic social dead, I'm going to give you a few tips to start off. Number one, this is one of my organic social strategies. So every month at the same time and the same day, I go live and I teach a 45 to 60 minute class with some Q&A. The way that I promote it is I promote it to my email list. But the reason why I continue to grow organically is because I am reliable and consistent. And that is one of the most important parts about organic social that I think most people miss is that they're not being consistent and reliable with their audience. And I want you to really think about this. Your people, before they buy from you, what do they most want? They want to trust you. And one of the best ways to get people to trust you is to not ding dong ditch them on social all the time. Ding dong ditching people on social means that you're here one day and then the next day you're not. I don't care if you post once a week, if you go live once a month, you post every day, whatever you do for your social strategy, you need to pick your horse and you need to ride that mother. And I mean it, because this is what happens is that a lot of people, they try to build the organic social. They do it for a few weeks. They get all poo-pooed out in their brain about like, oh my God, no one's listening to me. Oh my God, I haven't made sales yet. Look, organic social's the long play. Organic social takes time. But if you've got people who are just starting to read you and who are just starting to be interested in you, and then suddenly you poof out, you're just like Puff the Magic Dragon and flown off because you're having a bad day, because you're all full of self doubt. You're all worried that nobody likes you. Well, now you just shit all over your clients. Your future clients are sitting there going, I don't give a shit about your self esteem. I want to know your next tip. I want to know how you're going to help me. And I'm sitting here patiently waiting on you to quit having a bad self esteem day so I can know if I should work with you. So we got to be consistent and reliable. So this is my consistent, reliable thing. I go live once a month. I know that I can be here once a month. I know I can make it happen. And I know that my people, they can expect an email. Most of you who are on my email list probably got an email yesterday and today saying like, yo, here's what we're going to be talking about. Make sure you come. Make sure you come. I take care of my audience. I let them know when things are coming. I am consistent and reliable. And so here's what I want you to do. Part of organic social is also once you grab somebody's attention, you need to get your people to help you. So tag someone that should be here. Make sure you like anything that I say. Every time you like something I say, if you think, oh, yeah, that was good. Oh, yeah, I should do that. You need to hit the like button. You need to hit the heart, whatever, like, blows wind up your skirt. Share it on your own pages. This is another thing about organic social. Y'all not talking to enough people about what you do. You're not asking people to help you grow. A lot of you have tons of people in your network. They may not want to work with you, But guess what? They might know somebody who does, or they gonna run into somebody at some party or something. And because you've been talking, you've been posting, you've been putting your shit out there on a regular basis, they're gonna think of you. They're not gonna be like, yeah, that's nice. Like for weight loss. You know what I want? I want my people to share it. And when they're out in public, roaming the earth like like a wild animal, if somebody walks up to them and start talking about weight loss, guess what I want them to do? I want them to know my social channels. I want them to be able to share me. And the only way that my people know to share me is when I say, hey, you should share me. Hey, do you have friends? Hey, next time, here's my web address. So asking for the shares is important. Get over yourself. I was talking to one of my clients the other day, excuse me, over in our weight loss membership. And we were just kind of talking about other people. And she was like, oh, yeah, one of the reasons why I really struggle is because when I go out in public, I think everybody's thinking about me. I'm so worried about what they're saying. They're probably thinking this, they're probably thinking that. Women do that around their bodies, and business women do that about their business. So you may not be thinking everybody's thinking about your body, but you're certainly sitting there thinking, yeah, everybody thinks that I'm just playing business. Yeah, nobody thinks I'm really good, blah, blah, blah. And this is what I told her. I said, could you give all of us fucking humans credit? Like, I want you, like, if you have been sitting there going into somebody else's mind, assuming they don't want my shit, they think that I'm not good enough, whatever you think they think, you need to stop yourself dead in your tracks. Number one, they ain't thinking that shit. When you say they are, that means you think that shit about you. So just get real clear and quit lying to yourself. This ain't a them problem. This is a you problem. And if it's a you problem, you can fix it. Number two, stop going into other people's brains and throwing your shitwad ego crap all over their walls. I don't like litter in my brain. And I don't like when other people try to say, like, Corinne thinks this like bunches of crap. You know what Corinne wants you to do? Cut her some slack and give her some credit that she might be nicer than you're giving her credit for. So we want to make sure that we are not thinking they think things. Anytime you say they, then you need to get up in your head and be like, why am I choosing to believe this? Why is this not true? Why would I ever think these things about myself? Would I say this to another entrepreneur? If I wouldn't say it to another entrepreneur, she'll probably quit slinging those arrows at myself. All right. So let's talk a little bit about organic social. We already kind of have talked about it, but let's like really dive in. For all of you who are newer to me, if you're brand new, let me give you a couple things while I pull up all my notes. Here we go. If you would like a free one-page success planner, now if you're one of my members, you got the whole 90-day quarterly planning system. It is included with your membership, so you do not need to race to get this freebie. But if you're not and you would like to see, like, well, how do I make a one-page success plan every day to keep me focused on revenue generating activities? You can go to freeplanner.nobswomen.com. All right. And that will get you, number one, that free resource. But number two, it will also put you on my mailing list so that when I'm doing free Facebook Lives and I have announcements and I send Monday motivations and rail an email like I do on these lives, you will get those sent straight to your inbox. Now, for all of you, do you notice what I did just then? That's called organic stuff, bitches. Like, seriously. Y'all forget to promo your shit and you try to do it. Like, I think people miss the mark. They're over here like promoing right at the end or they promo right at the beginning. I'm like, let's just get to talking. And then you just put that stuff right in the middle. So using, like, don't forget to tell people about your free stuff, but make it interesting. Catch them off guard. Do it in the middle, but that's an organic strategy. Again, so much, like, organic is not dead. You know what's dead? you sharing enough, you saying things enough. You're going to have to say things. They used to say, I believe it was back in the day, my marketing director, she's our lead marketing person, our badass marketing bitch. Like back in the day, you used to say like somebody would need to hear about you like 7 times before they buy. In today's modern marketing age, it's more like 70. Like they got to see your social. They got to have a reach out. They need to see that maybe they need to see an ad if you run ads. They need to hear some podcasts. They need to get a freebie. They need to be in that email sequence. They need like a lot of stuff in order to be convinced to buy. So that moment when you think like, oh my God, I've posted 2 whole weeks and I sent my list like 3 emails. Get over yourself. You barely whispered in the cave. Like you are going to have to turn up the volume. All right. So let's talk about social. I have like 4,000 things open on my computer, and finding my notes is the work of art right now. All right. So a lot of people will try to tell you got to run some paid ads. I don't believe that. Let me tell you, I think paid ads are great. I run paid ads on my weight loss side. I did not run ads for the first few months of my business membership. The only reason why I'm running paid ads now is because we have gotten consistent with our organic social. We have gotten consistent on delivering our product to where we feel like we are ready to turn up the volume. But when you're in the early days of your business, I don't think running paid ads is a good idea. Number one, years ago, that was great advice when social was like the wild, wild west. You could pretty much, I could like 5 years ago spend $100 and people would click because it was so new. Ads are more sophisticated now, and they require you not only to learn about ads, but you really need to have your marketing dialed in, your niche dialed in, your copy dialed in. It's such a waste in the beginning to run ads to your marketing funnel and system before you've actually tested it with enough people to see, do people want my shit or not? I think you should learn that for free. I think you should save your money and you should cut your teeth on figuring this out without having to spend a lot of money. So the more that you can work on your organic social and run people through your funnels. And if you don't know what a funnel is, that's simply, I have a free thing. I'm going to like ask you to give me an email address. Then I'm going to send you, when you give me an email address, I will give you the free thing. And then from that moment on, I'm going to talk to you in email. And I'm going to really rely on email to drive our conversation. And what I'm going to use social for is so that I'm in your email box having a private conversation with you. When you're on social, if you happen to catch me, I just want you to be like slapped in the face and like, there she is again. There she is again. Oh my gosh. I just love following her social. She's so interesting. I get to see behind the scenes, or she has so many wisdom nuggets. I love her little short videos. Whatever your organic social like is comprised of. So they get into your funnel, you open the conversation in the email, and then you use your social to continue to establish authority. There's this funny thing. A lot of people, especially early in business, they think the only way they can have authority is if they have lots of followers or they're selling lots of stuff or whatever. Your clients don't think of it that way. The average person who's dicking around on the internet, looking for some help, looking for a coach, looking for a course, looking for something, they automatically assume you have authority because you posting on the internets. They see you doing lives. Like you got a free thing. I get email from you. Oh my gosh, you have a social channel. If you make sense and you're talking about your shit in a way that your people understand, in their mind, you have authority. Your authority is not determined by your followers, by your revenue. Your authority is determined by, Are you out there enough saying what you say to where some people are like, I get you. I feel you. I think you might be my person. So don't get wrapped up in a lot of like, "Ooh, I don't have enough followers." So what I want you to do is I want you to think about organic this way. I need to be consistent and reliable, number one. So I'm just going to need to pick how often I'm going to go. Now, I just taught a workshop, it was well over 90 minutes workshop for my No BS membership last week about the organic social blueprint. Like we went through all of the deep cuts of not only how to set up your rhythm, like how often you're going to post, how do you make that choice, which platform to get on. We also gave like a 12-week like content system. How do you create a cornerstone piece of content that you can break out into 7 posts so that all you have to do is create either 6 to 12 weeks of like 12 pieces of big content. And then from that, you have a fully loaded content system. I taught that with my marketing person last week inside of the No BS Business Women's membership. So if you want to get access to that class, all you have to do is join, and you can just go to join. Hang on, let me make sure I give you the right address. Wouldn't that be a mess if I gave you the wrong one? All right, you can go to nobsbusinesswomen.com. Here's another hot tip coming out of nowhere. It was not planned. Here's how I do these lives to where they're not just a big fucking jumbled mess, and how I do them authentically without looking like I have to be sitting here all perfectly and everything is like said wisely. I got some notes on my computer. Notes like, what the hell is our freebie? What's our website and stuff? We got all kinds of links and websites and crap like that. I don't rely on my brain to remember dick. You know what I rely on? My ability to be able to pull up my notes and grab something when I need it. So for all of you, never feel ashamed about having notes that you're going to do a live on. I would much rather you have notes than what I watch most people do. They get very nervous and they can't remember their links in live time. So they just don't say them. Like, y'all, come on. Your people do not care if you need to read your email links or your freebie links or whatever. You know what they care about? What the hell's on the link? That's what they care about. All right. So let's talk about a few things that are super important. Number one, when you have a meaningful social presence, that means you're going to get your leads that you're working for, which is like if you have an email list or whatever, your social presence, when it's reliable and consistent, helps people get prepared to buy from you sooner. So the way I like to think about it is I don't rely on my social to do the selling. I rely on my email to do the selling. I rely on my social to make sure that people are on my email list, number one. And then I rely on my social to be like the warm whoopee of information that's going to surround someone who's on my email list. So when they get on my list, not only am I having that private conversation, but I want them seeing on their social, I want them seeing me pop up everywhere. But I think this is an important distinction for everybody when it comes to organic social. Do not think of your organic social as this is how I make offers. I never think of social as how I make offers. I don't even think about this live as making an offer, even though I am saying like, you can join the No BS Business membership. Here's the workshop that you get immediate access to this month. I don't think of this as the offer. I think of this as giving you all the information so that you're ready to close the deal. So don't rely, like what I watch a lot of people burn out on is like, but I'm posting on social. I don't understand why money is not raining on me like a stripper on a Saturday night, 1 a.m. at the club. No, you need a system, which means you need the emails for your funnel, which we have courses on that inside the No BS Business Women membership if you ain't got one, but you need the social to round it out. It is that warm comforter that you're putting around the people as they are coming into your world. So I like to think about social as primarily talking to people about how to get on my email list so that I never lose them. Just don't ever forget that with social, only 4% of the people who like or who follow you at any given time are actually going to see what you are posting. In email, it is still a gold standard. Most people are checking, like 80% of the people regularly check their emails, which means if you're getting into their email box, you have just raised the stakes on whether or not you're going to be seen or not. Okay, let's also talk about um, there are three types of business goals. So, number one, and everybody, please, you might want to write this down. So, if you don't have paper, now's a good time to get it. There are three kinds of business goals when it comes to organic social. Number one is you're trying to find more potential customers. The second one is you're trying to increase your current audience's likelihood of buying. This is where you're warming. And the third type of organic business social goal is I want to get them into my email. I want to get them like on my list and I want to sell my services. Now, as you get bigger and more known, you will be doing all three and you will be staging and scheduling your social to sometimes you're talking about your valuable free offer. Sometimes you're selling something. Sometimes you're just trying to make sure that your audience is engaged. You're just asking questions, you're asking for comments so that you can engage with your audience. I am at the size where I mix up all three. So when I'm planning out my social, I don't overthink it. I will write about, like, if I'm going to write 12 posts, a third of them are just engagement, a third is for my freebie, a third is to sell. Like, literally, do not sit there, perfectionistic queens, and try to think that, like, Corinne said 3 goals. How the hell will I know which one I am? Oh my God, I'm not going to write an ounce of social until I figure this out and get confident. No, we're going to write social and we're going to figure it out along as we go. And just know if you're producing social, you ain't doing it wrong. At least your voice is out there. All right. So, when your business goal with your organic social is to find more potential customers, this means your social goal is awareness. I need to get people aware of me. So, the metrics that I'm going to want to track are going to be how many people am I reaching? How many impressions are my posts actually getting? Am I growing followers? Are people sharing me? And some of the tactics that you're going to do when you're in the awareness stage is you need to find other audiences that you can borrow and share. So, for example, I have not done this, but let's just pretend my friend is Amy Porterfield. And let's say Amy Porterfield, we're both in business, right? And she focuses on digital courses. I don't teach how to do digital courses, but I do teach people how to, like, be a smart CEO, how to be a badass CEO, how to get all their systems set up. I might want to be on her podcast to talk about why mindset for entrepreneurs is so important. She might want to be like, come on one of my lives to talk about how a digital course can change everything for you. And as we're sharing audiences, I have got people that I've never been able to reach signing up for my free stuff. She's got people she's never been able to reach signing up for her free stuff. So you want to think about, like, what kind of audiences can I get in front of? Now, when you're newer, you need to be like grassrooty about this. And I taught this last month in January. So if you join the No BS Business Women's membership, we have a whole class on list building. How do you list build like a boss? And it gives you tons of ideas about audience sharing, how to reach out, templates for you to be able to create like an email and a pitch campaign to be on podcasts, all kinds of stuff. But here's what I want you to think about. If you are just starting out, start looking around on social for people who already have around 5 to 10,000 followers. In the grand scheme of things, that is a very small audience, but they usually are that the person who has that audience is looking for help. They need help with content. They would love for you to write something for them. They would love to interview you. So, what can you do for them? So, make sure that you're getting those shares in. Now, if your goal right now in your business is to increase your audience's likelihood of buying, you're now in the warming up cycle. You have got a decent sized email list. You have growing followers, and you're like, now I want to kind of move more into warming people up. Your social goal is going to now to be able to get people engaged, because when you're increasing awareness, you're probably not going to get much engagement. If you have less than 1,000 followers, if you know, you're lucky if your mama leaves you a comment. You'll probably start getting likes and stuff, but people actually talking to you, if you like, for me, for example, I can make a post for engagement, and I've got like 80 plus thousand followers. I don't know how many we have on the weight loss side. I might get 30 comments. 30 out of 80,000. So if you have 1,000, you're lucky if your mother sees it and is like, good job, baby. I love everything you post. So, but when you start getting more followers, you might want to switch to engagement. Engagement means you're going to track things like how many people are commenting, how many people are liking my stuff. Am I getting mentioned? Are people mentioning other people? Are they tagging in the comments? How many people are visiting my profile? And then the last goal is maybe you're now like, I've been warming up people. I'm continuing to build my audience. I'm posting regularly. Now I'm ready to start selling my services. I've got enough people where it makes sense to sell my services on my social, along with doing the other things. And I'm going to try to drive traffic to that free offer that I have. You want now to switch to your social goal is to start tracking your conversions. How many people are actually coming from social? And here are the metrics you're going to want to track. Profile link clicks, email signups, DMs. How many people are actually DMing you interested? And how many sales are you getting? Okay, so never fear, my dear. If you're interested in metrics and you're like, well, I never really track metrics. I think metrics are like, the like scary person under the bed. I'm afraid of them. We've made it easy for all of our Nobius business women. We have a metric tracker. And then every time we add a new course that has key metrics, we give you a new tab on that tracker so that you can just download and start plugging in and only tracking things that actually make sense. One of the biggest mistakes I see when people are tracking numbers is they try to track all the numbers. They track what we call noise numbers that aren't really telling them anything. So what we have done is we teach our members how to track the numbers, that these are the ones you should pay attention to. The rest of it, just set it aside. You take care of these, they take care of your business. All right. So I want to be able to get to some questions, but before I start answering questions, don't forget that if you would love to take the full organic social blueprint workshop that I taught last week with my marketing person, you can join the Nobius Business Women today. And that will get you not only that workshop, but you will get the valuable free offer workshop, the list building blueprint workshop. You will get workshops on how to create an offer. We did a workshop not too long ago on selling an offer where I gave everybody, if you do one-on-one calls, you got the exact 12 questions you should be asking in order to sell without people having a ton of objections. And I don't know, I need to talk to somebody else's at the end of the conversation. In the organic social blueprint, you get that metrics dashboard that I was talking about that has you tracking what you need. You get 60 content starters that will end you staring at a blank screen, wondering what the hell should I even write about today? Like it literally lays out the idea structure so that you can do it. I will teach you the anatomy of a social post so that it shows you step by step which point every post should contain in order to get the readers reading everything that you are saying. You'll also get how to take that long form piece of copy and turn it into 6 or 12 weeks worth of content in less than a week. And the way that I teach it is you're not going to sit there for 40 hours doing social. You're going to spend an hour or two each day for 5 days. And then you will have 6 to 12 weeks worth of copy all done and scheduled. And I break out exactly step by step how to do it. And then we also give you the 7 calls to action that help your followers engage and connect with you. And it's all included in the resource guide and the workshop. Again, you can just go to nobsbusinesswomen.com and get signed up today. All right, so some questions. How do you directly ask friends to share your posts? Like this. Hey, Laurie, I have a post on my Instagram. Will you share it on your account? That's it. What you're probably really asking is, how do you ask your friends to share your posts without sounding like an idiot, without being annoying, without being salesy? You just ask. You're overthinking it way more than they are. The worst that's going to happen is they're going to say, no, I don't want to. Don't ask me again. Okay, well, now you know not to ask them. Ask somebody else. But you need to know the difference between actually not knowing how to ask someone, but understanding why are you being hesitant to do it. That's where inside my membership, we're a little different than most memberships. Not only do you get all these how-tos, we have a monthly mindset coaching call with me where I help you get underneath what's the real problem. So like in this instance, the real problem isn't that you don't know how to ask a friend. It's actually really simple. Hey, Laurie, I just created a social post. Here's the link. Do you mind putting it on your page? That's how you ask. But what you're really asking is, how do I do it without not being embarrassed? How do I do it without looking stupid? And that is mindset issues. And when you understand, like, oh, what I really need to do is like work on why would I ever think asking someone I know who is a friend to share something? Why would I think I would look stupid? That's interesting. Why wouldn't I think I look like a go getter? Why wouldn't I think I look like someone who just needs help? Why wouldn't I think I just look like someone who's going for her dreams and her friends are happy to help her? Why wouldn't I think those things? Those kinds of like deep introspection, when you clear those blocks, you work faster, you work more efficient, you put shit out there more frequently, and your revenue starts showing that mental effort. All right, the next question. What do you think about text campaigns to customers? I think they're great. I think that they have to be intentional, just like anything else. What I like, we're going to start doing some type of texting on our weight loss side. The first thing you need to know is there's a lot of legal that goes into it. So before anybody starts doing any kind of text campaign for customers, you do need to get your legal bearings set up. We had my lawyer she represents a lot of people in the online creative space, especially female entrepreneurs, is Autumn Witt Boyd. That's WITTBOYD. AWB firm. That's her. Like if you look her, like I'm sure somebody from my team can put a link in there to her webpage. We had them help us figure out the legality of texting. Texting is a newer it's not necessarily new, but it's starting to get like more and more talked about. But there are like really costly mistakes you can make if you're not careful. So you want to make sure you get your legal shit buttoned up before you start texting people. Then the approach that we are taking is I want to make sure that we are texting our clients the really important stuff. I sign up for a lot of funnels and I always give my phone number and I read and I figure out what is annoying to me. And then I don't do those things. And then I think about what's helpful. Like I will want to know if something's going live, but only really good shit. So I think it's one of those things to use, but use it sparingly. You do not want someone to get over texted and be overtired of you. People are much more likely to stop your texts than they are to stop your emails. Uh, do you feel some of your people fall off your list because you are addressing new followers? I mean, sometimes, but if like this is the way that I think about like the list is a lot of times like I try to think about everybody that's on my list. And so some emails will be targeted to someone who's brand new and some people are targeted to people who've been around a while. But what I have found like especially on the weight loss side is lots of people need the basics said over and over again. I think the biggest mistake I see business people make is they're so afraid to say things over and over again as if my people are going to get bored. I have got people on my email list who joined 7 years ago and they still open every damn email. Even when I'm talking about something, I know I have written the email. Not only have I written it about the topic probably 200 times and sent it to them, but half of those emails probably were a repeat. And they're still like, girl, it's like the first time I ever read it. People don't remember your shit that much. So don't worry about repurposing. People literally don't remember your shit that much. Even when I see repeat emails from other companies, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. And that was a good one. Like people just don't sit there and be like, what? This ain't fresh content. I got to unsubscribe right now. That is not how people react. What do you prefer to use for the email drafting in advance? Flowdesk, we use Entreport. So many options. What's simple and effective? Entreport is not simple and effective. I just like if Entreport would like to call, like I have got Black Box VIP service, and I will just tell you right now, Entreport. If you want me to talk better about you on a public live, you should do better by us. That's all I got to say about that. So, but I will say this, when our system, we use something called Airtable. And Airtable is online. It is kind of like, think about Excel on steroids, like Excel that is fully loaded with more searchability and options. So we have a social content table in Airtable, and that's where we write the social. We like plug, like if there's assets that go with it, like this is the social assets that go with it. Metrics can get tracked there after the fact. We have like we just have like this is the date that it was written, this is the date that it was last published, if it was like we keep track of how many times it's been published, all that kind of stuff. And that's it's just like a big database for us, but that's where we keep it. We do all of that there, but the actual here is my email, it needs to go to someone, somebody copies and pastes what is in Airtable and they put it into Entreport to go out. If you have 2/3 of your list not opening emails, or if you feel like engagement is low, do you think it's worth doing a subscriber reviver campaign? Absolutely. I think subscriber reviver campaign should be a constant part of your cycle. So maybe like you can set your campaigns up inside of like, if you've got active campaign, if you have like whatever, like Entreport, whatever you've got, you can set it up to where, you know, if somebody hasn't opened an email in, I think we do 180 days, maybe. I forget how many days it is that we do either like click here and let us know you want to be here. We send them very targeted, juicy emails to see if we can get them to open. If not, then we say like, we have like an email that says like, click here if you'd like to be removed from the list. You haven't opened an email in a while. And then if they don't even do that, then we take them off. So I think cleaning your list regularly is a good idea. It just helps you plan realistically, like if you're doing a launch or you're doing a sales campaign, like when you want to kind of project, like this is how many we should sell. If you have inflated people hanging out, like numbers hanging out on your list, I'm not sure what's going on in my house, but there's some drilling happening somewhere. It scared shit out of me. One of the things that you can do is make sure you keep your list clean so that you can rely on some of your projections. Y'all give me a second to tell my husband we need to quit drilling. Can y'all hear the drilling in the background? This is what's funny because, like, seriously, like if you've been following me for any length of time, here's what you know. If I'm doing a live, someone's going to drill, a cat's going to come in, or mowers are going to be standing right outside my fucking door going ham. All right, we can hear it. Thank you. I texted Chris. Oh, it never gets boring, does it, y'all? All right, let's move on. Well, all right. That was the last question. There you go. I guess the drill was the horn to start wrapping things up. So, again, if you want to join us, we are doing amazing things inside the No BS Business Women's membership. Get on over to nobsbusinesswomen.com. Sign up today. Tomorrow is a really special 60-minute class. My marketing director, along with our social content person, are going to be on a call with our members, and they are taking pre-submitted copy and they are going to tear it apart in the nicest of ways. So they're going to talk about, this is what's good about this copy. And for this member, here's what we would change and why. We like to use our marketing hot seat calls to teach you how to actually learn to be a great copywriter, how to dissect your metrics, how to do the things so that you don't just need us all the time. We want to teach you how to be that person. So if you join today, you'll be able to come to that class tomorrow. You'll be able to watch Sarah and Krista break down real copy sent from our members to teach them how to up level their social profiles, how to up level some social copy and stuff. You will not believe how much you will learn watching that. Can you give us one tip on the mindset part of things? I already did. I just got through talking about how you, like when you are sitting, like, here's a good question that's mindset. How often do you ask friends to share before it gets annoying? Last I checked, there's no book out there that's like, turn to page 23, everyone, to the section called When Social Asking Gets Annoying. That is a thought. Do you know how do you know when it gets annoying? If someone ever tells you. And if your friends are annoyed by you asking, then decide, is that the kind of friend you want? Or decide like, okay, I won't ask them anymore. I respect the friendship enough to no longer ask. But y'all are so worried that people are going to be upset with you. Here's the question I never get. Literally, the question I never get. How many times do you think my friends will share because they love me? How many of my friends should I reach out to because I know they adore me? Like, nobody's asking that. We're all like tiptoeing around. I'm like, check your friend circle. Number one, if the best question you have is, I'm going to piss everybody around me off when I'm going after my dreams, well, you need to check your social circle. Who have you been collecting? Because you know what I have? I've got friends around me that like to support me. Now, here's the other thing. It's probably not your fucking friend circle. You know what the problem is? You. You are the problem. This is a mindset issue. Why are you choosing to think so poorly about your friends? Why are you choosing to think so poorly about what you offer that they would be annoyed you would ask? And worst case scenario, someone gets annoyed and they tell you and you're like, I am sorry. I won't ask again. And I appreciate every time you have shared. Moving on. That's mindset. It ain't got to be that deep. Can you give us one of the biggest shifts you've made as you've built your business? Probably, I would say what I was just talking about. I would say the biggest shift that I've made building my business is going from worrying what people are going to think about me and taking the amount of energy I spent being afraid of what people think about me and shifting that energy to always examining what am I thinking about myself. It's not that I don't give a shit what people think about me. Trust me, I still work on this. It comes up in different places. But what I think has separated me, because like in my peer circle, I am the number one earner by far. And when I think about what makes me different, is that I have stopped spending so much time worrying about what people think, and I spend more time bolstering the opinion I have of myself and what I have to offer. And if I'm going to spend time in other people's minds rather than worrying what they think, I'm always in my client's mind trying to figure out what are they thinking that's holding them back? How can I help them with that rather than what are they thinking about me that holds me back? It's such a waste of time. It is probably it's probably what grinds most of you to a complete halt in not only growing your business, but also putting yourself out there on your social. Last question. What do you think of email surveys after a program completion? I don't know if I should send them to customers. We do. So I like to get feedback. We don't ask a ton of questions. We like to ask more open-ended questions because I want to hear like what they think about it in their own words. And I'd rather us spend more time reading it and using our brain to disseminate it than to have like A, B, C, and D answers where we lock them into an answer and they're just having to pick the one that's closest to what they think. I like to ask just like, how far did you get into the program? What really resonated with you or what really helped? What are you using? And then what do you wish had been in the program? What did you not hear that you wish you would have heard? Like asking questions like that and get it in their own words, and that helps you build better content for yourself. Okay, that is it. Go to nobsbusinesswomen.com. If you join today, you get access to the organic social blueprint workshop. You get access to tomorrow's call with Sarah and Krista for live time social copy review. And then you'll get mindset coaching with me, I believe, next Wednesday. And we're just rocking and rolling. You can find out all the information over there. If I don't see you there, I'll see you back here next month on Tuesday, 9 a.m. Central Time. I'm not even going to tell you which day it is. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you where to go to get on my email list because that's where you should get reminded. Go to freeplanner.nobsbusinesswomen.com. Sign up for that free shit, and then I will let you know in email when your next call is. Y'all have a good one. Like, share, and comment. Bye, y'all.